Dip Gaming. Hopefully, there's no music blaring in your ears right now. Sorry about that. Um, we got Big Daddy Art Crisis. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go through a little combo tutorial of K9 DDD. Now, if you check Nelson's video, you can follow that. He's got a little bit. We're gonna follow one of the standard lines, um, which starts with K9 Noroi. K9 Noroi is full combo in this deck. It's great. So we'll kind of go that way. So we'll go K9 Roy. We'll kind of do, starting with like a Dark Contract. We'll do some other different stuff that we can do. Probably like 2 or 3 separate lines. Can play through Droll through one of them. A couple of them, it's pretty nice. So we're starting. We're in a normal summon Roy. Effect to summon. I don't have them laid out, so I'm going to search for them just like a real game. We'll go to Jokel. We'll use Jokel's effect to grab an non-aqua. We are locked into canines at the moment. We'll get Lantern. So that's kind of the important part. Is you want to be careful with Noroi. If Noroi gets hit like this, you don't want to. Or if she's out here, you don't like. You don't want to get stuck. Okay. You want to use Noroi as your material for Ripper. So Noroi's going to be gone already. So we'll Xyz into Ripper. We'll use Ripper's effect to add. We'll detach the Noroi. Detach the Noroi. It's important. So our hand is there. We detach Noroi to go on ahead and get a Jokel. So now we have the protection from Nib because we're going to get to that point fairly quick. Okay. So we'll go Lantern targeting Noroi to summon. So we'll summon. We'll summon. We'll go Lantern's effect to add a K9 spell or trap, which we only run case. So once we sift and find case, we'll grab case for K9. So here we activate case. We're good. Effect to add. We can add Izuna now. So then we can Noroi, get rid of, look at the hand. It's good hand knowledge right there. I don't usually keep case on board unless I'm like playing into Fua or Perulia or one of the Charmies in any capacity. Then I probably won't do it because I know their hand's going to change. So we'll go Jokel, reveal Izuna, summon both. And then we can Izuna to dump. Find our Lupus. And then we dump Lupus. So, we're sitting here. We're thinking, how the hell are we getting to the DDD portion? It's a great question. So now, take Jokel Lantern. It doesn't matter. We'll make Marksman King Tell. And then we'll take Izuna Noroi and make Marksman King Tell. So now we have double King Tell on board. So now, one of my favorite things to do, because people did not know that these are not once per turn, you take both Tells, you link them off, and you link into Abyss King Gilgamesh, or link to. So now we are into DDDs. We'll move Metal Marcher out of the way. We're into DDDs. So now on resolution, we have Chain Link 1, the first King Tell to dump, Chain Link 2, the second King Tell to dump, Chain Link 3 to burn for 1,000 and set the pendulum scales. So the best way to set the pendulum scale, in my opinion, and I think Nelson would agree as well, you set Oblivion King, Abyss Ragnarok, and then we do Doom Queen Machinex. So we burn for 1,000, and we take it. They're thinking, why'd you do Kepler? Kepler's a 10, that's a 0. We'll get to that in a second. So, the second Tell dump. I love to dump Scale Surveyor, and I love to dump Lance Soldier. So, we have resolution effects now. We have the effect of Scale Surveyor in the graveyard, because it was sent to grave or face-up extra deck, targeting Queen Machinex to bounce her back to hand. So we'll bounce Queen Machinex back to hand. We will then activate her again in the Pendulum Zone. We'll then affect Queen Machinex to place face-up a Dark Contract. So we will place, it's not Dark Contract with the Swamp, it's the new broken one. This card's actually ridiculous. Dark Contract with the Zero King. So now, we're good here. Pretty simple, pretty easy to follow so far. We'll go Dark Contract Zero King, targeting Queen Machinex, resolution to pop her, and then special summon from the extra deck a DD card. DD monster, I lied. Then we're locked into DD special summons, but like it doesn't matter. We've already gotten through our canine stuff. We have our hand to gate. It doesn't matter. So we'll pop the Machinex. And now you can go a couple different ways here. I like personally to go into Copernicus. Then we have a Copernicus on summon effect to dump from the grave or dump from deck to grave. Once we find Necro Slime, we'll dump Necro Slime. So now our graveyard's getting pretty full, which is good. We want our graveyard pretty thick. We got a lot of stuff in there right now, so it's great. We want that. So now we have a couple different ways to go about this. Okay, we can go Lance Soldier, we can Necro Slime. It doesn't necessarily matter because it's all going to kind of get us to the same spot. So I like personally to Lance Soldier effect, targeting Zero King to pop Zero King and summon Lance Soldier, but it banishes when it leaves the field. So we'll summon Lance, and Lance is great because it can level modulate according to the Dark Contracts, but since we only have one in this line, it's not going to matter too much. So we have a resolution effect. We have the effect of Queen Machinex. Since a Dark Contract or DD monster was face up and destroyed, we get to summon her, and then we have the option to pop a card. Obviously, going first, we don't need to pop a card here, but it's a triple D or Dark Contract. Sorry. So we'll summon Queen Machinex. Boom, she's there. Won't use the effect to destroy a card. It's great. Free body. Tremendous. So now we'll take Lance Soldier, Copernicus to Synchro 6 into First King Clovis. Clovis on summon targeting Lance Soldier and Banishment. Because you can target Graveyard or Banishment. I want to target Lance Soldier. So we'll do this. So then now we'll go for a Synchro 8. He does not banish because he was not summoned off his own effect. So now we'll summon Cursed King Siegfried. So something else we can do here is now, since we have a DDD special summoned, we can use Abyss King Ragnarok to summon a DD monster, except during the damage step you can target in your graveyard. Any damage taken becomes half for the rest of the turn. Yeah, you lose 1,000 for it. So we'll target Clovis. We'll summon Clovis back out. Probably thinking, why the hell are we bringing Clovis back out? Probably not, but, you know, Clovis is cool. So then now, we'll go here, and we'll go Necro Slime, and banish Scale Surveyor. Doesn't really matter on your banish targets, you just kind of don't want to banish Lance Soldier. So we'll banish those, and we'll make a High King Genghis. So, you can immediately go here and make Caesar if you want. It's not my particular favorite to like immediately make Caesar here. So what I'll do is we'll take Gilgamesh and we'll take Queen Machinex. It'll make Sky King Zeus Ragnarok. So now we have our new Link 3. We have the Hand Negate. We have Monster Hand Negate is what it is. So we have that option. So now we're kind of in an interesting spot here, okay? We don't have the Pendulum Guy to Pendulum Summon. We don't have a Dark Contract to make Machinex. So you can do it a couple different ways. This is the line that I like the best, personally, because it feels the safest. Honestly, you just overlay Genghis and Clovis, and you make Caesar. So now, here's what we have on board, okay? We have Ripper for a hand or graveyard negate, Siegfried for a spell or trap negate on field. We have double special summon negate. We have another hand negate. And we have a Machinex. If any of these guys are destroyed, we can summon her and pop them. We have a pretty full graveyard. We're not going to be taking anything early on in the damage step or standby phase. We have a Lupus for follow-up at some point, potentially. We don't really have any other Xyz targets, honestly, besides like a Deuce or a King Solomon or a Wave Caesar. But that's kind of the typical line I like to do. In a perfect world, like you would back up, you would get the Kepler instead, normal Kepler, get the extra Dark Contract, then you can get an additional Machinex or Copernicus and Pendulum Summon, do all that kind of stuff. Realistically, all it is you would have something like this, with this, and here. Which, yes, having Deuce in that is really good. I just don't like Kepler, honestly. He's a great starter. It's just something that I kind of don't do a lot of the times. Um, just because I know some people do know how to like play against the deck, and they're going to save it for Kepler. Like, they're going to save their interaction for Kepler or Copernicus per se. So yes, Kepler kind of essentially gets you to this. It's just an extra bit of step and a little bit more spot of interaction. Copernicus is a little bit quicker, I guess quicker. It's like a couple extra steps, but that's kind of what we look for this one here. So now we'll go into the next one. Okay, here we go. We're going to draw a hand of 5, and we're going to go from there. So we're getting a good shuffle. Would not do good in the remote duel since my hand's not visible. We'll go cut down the middle. That one snuck out. We'll leave him at top, I guess. Okay, we'll go for 5. Fua, yikes. Izuna, Izuna, Jokul, Dark Contract Gate. So honestly, not very good, but doable. Okay, so we'd go standby main phase. We're going to go Jokul, reveal the Izuna to summon. So then we go Jokul, Izuna. Cool. We'll go Izuna effect on summon to dump. I'm playing this hand with you guys right now, so I might have to sit here and think in a second. Definitely not read, though. We don't read cards. So then we can go Jokul effect, add a non-aqua canine. So now this also matters for points of extension, because we're probably not going to get the whole board here. We could go for a Noroi here, but then we would lose our ad off of a lantern. So you kind of take and give, or give and take. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go search straight off the Lupus for, not Lupus, the Jokul for the lantern. Okay. We're going to skip the Noroi. We're going to lose out on a King Tell here, but that's okay. So now we can overlay for our girl Ripper. We'll go Ripper, detaching Jokul to add. And now this doesn't necessarily matter because we do get the add off the Ripper anyway, and we have the Jokul in hand with the Izuna. So I guess you can go get Noroi at this point if you wanted to. We only run one Ripper, so I'm not too worried about it a whole lot since we have to make the Ripper to search. So it kind of just makes Noroi kind of dead at that point. I guess just for follow-up purposes, um, we can just go ahead and add just another copy of Jokul since we just to have it in hand. Um, I don't mind having an extra Jokul in hand. But now we'll go Lantern targeting Jokul to summon. Summon. Lantern to get the case, because that's all we're running. We'll grab case. We will activate case. We can grab another Izuna if we need to. I don't think that's a terrible idea, personally. Simply because, yes, we're flooding our hand with a lot of canine cards, but we'll have points of interaction to summon Izuna and then summon Lupus, which could get us to a King Tell. And then, worst comes to worst, next turn, like, we could just Jokul and Izuna summon. So now, we'll overlay into a King Tell. So then now is where we bridge here. We got Dark Contract with the gate. I'm not going to search Kepler. We're going to search Queen Machinex. We'll activate her. We'll use her effect to place. And it's not because I'm a Kepler hater. I'm really not a Kepler hater. I just don't think Kepler's the best search off of this right now because we already have this Dark Contract, and if we're going to get this one anyway, we might as well go with the Pendulum one. So we'll effect, we'll pop, we'll summon, you guessed it, Copernicus. So we'll Copernicus effect to dump. I'm going to dump, not Scale Surveyor, wrong card. This is where I will dump Land Soldier. Shocker. Again, we're going to dump Land Soldier. We'll go with a Link 2. And we'll make Gilgamesh. And we'll go Chainlink 1 Tell to dump, Chainlink 2 to burn for 1,000, and then set the scale. So we'll go Queen Machinex here. We'll go Big Daddy Gilg here. I guess he's Abyss King Ragnarok. It feels like he should be a Gilgamesh. And then we'll King Tell. So since we've already used Queen Machinex, we don't need to dump a Scale Surveyor here, which is phenomenal. I don't think we need to, like, that's not a dump that we need. Which means we can do this and dump Necro Slime now. It's just a little bit expedited Necro Slime effect. So now we actually have it engraved, which is great. So now we're sitting here. We got the pendulum scales up. We have Izuna, Lupus, or Izuna Yokel, Izuna Fua. So now we'll go pendulum summon. We'll summon Copernicus. And I guess we could summon up Fua if we really want, which is actually hilarious, because that would get us into. Let me make sure I read the card. Yeah, so we can't make Solomon with Fua. That'd be hilarious. This isn't Ryzeel. I guess we could summon the extra body, but we don't. It's just a dead card on the field. So now we have Copernicus. We'll go Lance Soldier effect, targeting Dark Contract at the gate to special summon itself, and then it banishes when it leaves. We have the Queen Machinex. No pop. We'll go here. We'll go for a Synchro 6. You know the drill with this one. We'll go with Clovis. Clovis targets to summon. So, before we get into any trouble, we'll go ahead. We'll make 3. And we'll make Ragnarok. We can sit here. We're fine. We can sit just like this. We have the protection from Nib and all that good stuff. We will go into a Necro Slime, banishing itself and Tell to make Genghis. So then now we can go like a step further. We can go for 8. Make Siegfried. We can use Genghis' effect, targeting Clovis. Summon Clovis back out. So now we have that, which is great. Um, yeah, this is just phenomenal. Like, make Caesar. And so now, since we have a DDD monster, we will use the effect of Ragnarok, targeting Gilgamesh to summon Gilgamesh. And then we will just simply overlay to Big Daddy Deuce. There's your god board. We have the Ripper Hand Negate. We have Siegfried. We have double Tell, or we have double Caesar. We have Zeus. We have Deuce to pop and attach, and then detach too. And Grave's not super great. It's kind of shallow actually, but that was just playing with her hand. That's playing with Jokel. I actually almost like the Jokel line better. I'm probably more comfortable with it because I obviously draw Jokel more, just numbers wise. Um, and then for follow up for next turn, or even like opponent's turn, like we have Izuna here just for an extra body. We have the Lupus Engrave, wherever we have Lupus Engrave. Um, the Fu is a dead card in hand, which kind of sucks, but yeah, that's kind of what we got. This is the board I ended on the majority of the time. If not this board, it was this, or if it was this, it was this. Like I always prioritized these 3 at some point, and then even better, like I forgot about interruptions here. Yes, we have the hand, graveyard negate, hand negate. I believe it's just hand. I got to read the card. Reading sucks, dude. Most effectively, yeah. Hand graveyard, spell trap, special summon, negate, 2, and then deuce to suck up, pop, and all that good stuff. And then we have Queen Machinex that can summon and then pop a card if one of these bad boys or these down here get destroyed. So, fun little bit of interaction. And then we have the Izuna in hand. We're kind of locked and rocked and ready to go at that point. Appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, comment down below. I've never done a combo video before, so it's a little wonky for me. This deck does play really good through Droll. We kind of talked about. Droll lines are a little bit different. It just really is hand dependent on what you get in your hand. Not hand dependent per se, but just the chances to extend past the point of extending. I feel like you can get a lot of that. We even get a Scale Surveyor in hand, which is hilarious, which can summon itself. And yeah, that's what we got. This is the board. This is my typical board I want to end on. Um, it's been broken maybe twice, maybe once, and it was because I played Dalton at Pink Elephant. Dalton's a great dude. He sat there and he played Raigeki, and I chained Siegfried to negate the Geki, and he Forbidden Lanced my Siegfried. It was Forbidden Lance Strauss, whichever one negates their effects. And I was like, well, shit, this sucks. So then we just have her around board, and Not the greatest. So yeah, if you have any questions, comment down below. I'm not even putting music over this. I don't want the chance for the music to get too loud. It was not loud pre-production, and then it got really loud post-production. So here we are, a little bit of a longer video. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up, like, comment, sub. Don't be silly. Wrap your willy.